From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. British Columbia firefighters are battling extreme fire behavior as a growing out-of-control blaze approaches Fort Nelson, BC. BC Wildfire Director of Operations says recent calmer winds prevented the wildfire from spreading into the town, although it has grown to 53 square kilometers in size. Cliff Chapman says winds are forecasted to pick up again today as crews use helicopters and bulldozers to fight the wildfire, and most ground crews focus on protecting structures. Meanwhile, in Manitoba, Earl Simmons, the province's wildfire director, says a wildfire spread surprisingly fast and is frightening to see, forcing the evacuations of around 550 residents.
I've been working in wildfire for 40 years. I've never seen a fire move like this fire moved.
And in Fort McMurray, Alberta, light rain is expected where a fire remains about 16 kilometers from the city of 68,000 people. Another Canadian university campus now has a tent encampment set up. Over a dozen tents have been set up as part of a pro-Palestinian encampment at Dalhousie University in Halifax. Music played and signs displayed messages such as disclose, divest, reinvest, and free Palestine in a campus courtyard with around 20 people. Meanwhile, lawyers for Montreal McGill's University are seeking an injunction to dismantle the pro-Palestinian encampment that has been on its downtown campus since last month. Stateside, Donald Trump's fixer-turned-foe Michael Cohen is directly implicating the former U.S. president in a hush money scheme.
On the stand, Michael Cohen laying out the paper trail of hush money payments to keep Stormy Daniels quiet about her alleged tryst with Donald Trump. After National Enquirer publisher David Pecker refused to pay for another catch and kill for Trump, Cohen describing opening an account for a shell company created to make the payment and telling the bank it would be used for consulting fees, something he now says was false. Cohen testifying he took out a home equity loan to raise the $130,000 to silence Daniels and that Trump approved. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
A parliamentary committee is calling for the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada to look into how artificial intelligence is affecting worker privacy. In a report detailing how AI could affect the Canadian labour force, the committee identified worker and privacy protections as major concerns. And whether you were lucky to nab tickets to one of Taylor Swift's 6 sold-out Toronto concerts in November or not, a new fan experience hopes to get you into the party spirit. Taylgate 24 is coming to Toronto this November, with organizers promising a new fan experience, including a DJ mixing Swift's hits, sing-along spaces for the vocally brave, and a massive space in the Metro Toronto Convention Centre to create friendship bracelets. Organizers say the event will unite Swifties of all ages for an unabashed celebration of the tortured poet, providing an indoor space for young fans to congregate before her concerts. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Vancouver Canucks defenseman Carson Soucy has been suspended 1 game for a cross-check on Edmonton Oilers superstar Connor McDavid, while Vancouver defenseman Nikita Zadorov has been fined $5,000 US by the NHL, stemming from an incident after the final buzzer sounded Vancouver's 4-3 Game 3 win over the Oilers last night in Edmonton. In NHL playoff action, the New York Rangers will take another shot at advancing to the NHL's Eastern Conference Final when they welcome the Carolina Hurricanes to Madison Square Garden. New York leads the second-round series 3-1. Toronto can advance to the first-ever Professional Women's Hockey League Championship Series with a win tonight over Minnesota. Toronto leads the best-of-5 semifinal 2-0 and has yet to surrender a goal in the series. And the Toronto Blue Jays begin a 3-game series with the Orioles tonight in Baltimore. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.